But I mean, I don't know. Folks like this who are barely taking off their diaper. You know what I'm saying? They still wet behind the ears. The only thing they read is like some Pokemon cards. You know what I'm saying? They haven't experienced life. I don't expect them to understand history and how decisions made by politicians, our government, people in power, has an effect that can last for years. I don't expect them to understand it because they're kids themselves. So, Mr. Hammock, whatever your name is, there you go. Congratulations, you played yourself. So every once in a while, I have to take my precious time to sit here and try to educate as best as possible. Okay, I'm not the smartest guy ever, but I do know some things. I do read some books. I do pay for valuable information. So every once in a while, I got to take a few comments, a few good ones, not the rude and disrespectful ones, but the good ones where it seems like they're trying to present an actual argument. And it's just too much for me just to sit here and try to respond off of YouTube comments because it just the tone gets lost in the text. So I got two good ones for you. So the first one is from Jason, and oddly enough, we're talking about Jason Aldean and his racist song that he decided to put out. Mr. Jason says, Jason Aldean is a patriot. No racist undertones in the song whatsoever. If you listen to the video that I put out, you would know that I said, if you're not paying attention, you're just listening to the song, you wouldn't catch it. But if you add in the context with the video and where he was filming his video, it all makes sense. It all ties in. If you're just listening to it with your headphones, maybe I guess you could kind of be like, okay, yeah, maybe not too racist. But if you put everything in context, and he did this on purpose. These directors, these people who put these videos together, they do this on purpose. Nothing's on accident. They didn't stumble at that historical site where a young black man got lynched for little to no reason. It wasn't an accident. They did that on purpose. So if you didn't get it, that doesn't mean he didn't do that on purpose. So that means nothing. America watched the terrorist group, Black Lives Matter, terrorist group. This already lets me know what position he's taking that in. I have no idea because maybe he doesn't know what a terrorist group is. Black Lives, how many people have they killed? How many towns did they literally slaughter people and burn down an entire community? Okay, there was a few riots, some people stole from like a Walmart or Target. Okay, I get it. But like the Tulsa massacre, that was by terrorists. And if you don't know what the Tulsa massacre is, once again, maybe you need to do your research. So I terrorist group Black Lives Matter terrorized big cities around this country for 3 months because a bad cop killed a career criminal. Once again, he has no idea that this is a lengthy history of these bad cops killing career criminals. Oh, well, he had like counterfeit 20. Jesus Christ, really? Does that deserve to be killed? Well, maybe to you because he's a black scary man, so maybe you think he deserves to be killed. But okay, sure. They looted, stole, destroyed, cost taxpayer millions of dollars while the Democrats ruined cities tied their police officers' hands. First off, the number one main cost of taxpayers' money when it comes to police is the police. With all the lawsuits and all the money that they have to fork over, millions of dollars coming out of your pocket for the stupidity that a lot of these cops do. So if you are concerned about taxpayer money, maybe you should tell your cops, these cops, that they need to conduct themselves in a better manner. I mean, if you want to save taxpayer money, right? If anyone doesn't like this video, that tells me they are okay with all that happened in the summer of 2020. I mean, a lot of things happened in 2020, but let me go ahead and flip the script. If you like this video, maybe you're okay with all the historical lynching and killings and rapings and murders of black and brown people for little to no reason. Can I say that? Because he filmed this in front of that place for a reason. Maybe he's trying to signal something, and if you don't understand that, that's your fault. So is that fair for me to make that assumption for all who like this music video? No, it's not, because that's kind of ridiculous, right? So I don't know how you connect those dots, but you did, because you're an idiot. The only difference between small towns and big cities in this country, small towns, you would be held accountable for your actions, either by police or its citizens. If you don't believe it, try that in a small. He thought it was cute. All right, so once again, you said all this and said nothing at the same time. Once again, just a waste of my time, because I know you felt like you said something. I know while you were clicking and clacking and capitalizing letters and your poor grammar, I know you thought you were saying something, but congratulations, you said nothing, and you're wasting my time. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Now this young man, Mr. Hamhock, Hamhock camping 2,500. Okay, so this dude has just been wanting to get on a video. I don't know if he's just seeking attention or he's just has no friends, but guess what, Mr. Ham, I'm your friend now because I'm just a nice of a guy like that. But he says affirmative action was illegitimate in the 1960s and even more so in the 21st century. Justice Clarence Thomas has courage and integrity to make the right call about affirmative action. Even when I said, even though Thomas benefited from affirmative action, he said yes. Now, I was reading this book. It's called How Fascism Works. And oddly enough, they talk about how a lot of these fascists like to take away institutions that will, small story short here, take away institutions that help people because they want a class divide, they want a race divide, they want, long story short, you're gonna have to read the book to kind of get a full understanding of what I'm talking about. But it's an interesting part in here. It says affirmative action at its best was designed to recognize and address structural inequality. I didn't even need a book to tell me that. And if you don't understand the inequalities back in the 60s and further back, you shouldn't be on YouTube. You need to purposely pick up some books, pay for it. I will buy you a book, okay? If you strap for money, I will buy you a book. But you need to crack these suckers open and read, because it's valuable information. And you wouldn't be wasting my time talking about affirmative action wasn't needed back in the Okay, anyway. Says, but by falsely presenting affirmative action as uncoupled from individual merits, some of its detractors recast advocates of affirmative action as pursuing their own race or gender-based nationalism to the detriment of hard-working white Americans, regardless of evidence. Go ahead, play that back if you missed it. Go ahead, rewind about 10, 15 seconds, play it back, put it on slow if it's too much information being thrown at you. You have to understand, sometimes data, analytics, that means something. And I did a video about the information. So go ahead, give your boy a view. Go ahead, watch that video. The stats, the data, the information, whatever you want to call it, proves that the individuals who were chosen to attend these schools had high graduation rates. They weren't placed, they didn't just take a random person, put them in one of these elite schools, and they just flunk out. They're lying to you. What are you talking about? Now, we can have a discussion. Is it something needed in 2023? We can have a fair, honest discussion about that, because honestly, I think Black folks need to learn how to reallocate their money, their resources into historical Black colleges. That's what I would like to see, but I mean, I didn't go to college, so that's just out of my realm. Like, if you want to go to one of these institutions where they're going to kind of discriminate in some way, shape, or form, that's on you. But I feel like Black folks, we have the time and the presence to make our schools the dominant ones. We could do that, but that's another conversation for another day. But one thing you have to understand is there was a time, there was a place where affirmative action was needed. It was needed. And if you don't understand how segregation caused a wealth gap, how it caused an educational gap, how it caused opportunity gaps, if you don't understand that, I mean, Black folks couldn't even drink out of the same water fountain. What makes you think they could just go to any school they wanted? I mean, and this was in the 60s. My grandfather is still alive who was participating in that. It wasn't that long ago. How was that hard to understand? But I mean, I don't know. Folks like this who are barely taking off their diaper. You know what I'm saying? They still wet behind the ears. The only thing they read is like some Pokemon cards. You know what I'm saying? They haven't experienced life. I don't expect them to understand history and how decisions made by politicians, our government, people in power, has an effect that can last for years. I don't expect them to understand it because they're kids themselves. So, Mr. Hammock, whatever your name is, there you go. Congratulations, you played yourself. But once again, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm just incorrect about everything that I said, affirmative action was just to stick it to the white man, I guess. And Jason Aldean is just some stand-up patriot who loves Black folks, but just talking about crime in his songs, which is weird. Let me know in the comments. And like always, let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.